I'm humbled to be given chair here. I came here and I'm absolutely dumbfounded about the number of people who, the ideas, the thoughts, the distances they came, and the suggestions they gave us on how to move forward. When I first met Salam, I fell in love with him within 35 seconds, and with the idea itself, with the initiative itself, in 3 minutes. What puzzled me was one thing. How come something like that needs initiatives and conferences and meetings and discussions and talks when it's so plain forward that every single one of us agree on the same thing? And anyone who would find a way more direct than me to reach God and then be in between me and him and abuse me, my rights, then that is a evil person. So I thought of what other things that sound so plain and so simple, and how long it took for them to become legislation. So I thought of anti-slavery thing. Which one of us would like some slaves to buy and sell or to trade? But you know, the first legislation, I mean, it took how many thousands of years? Every religion would. I know the Torah, but I'm sure that all the other religions from time immemorial would resent anything like selling a human being. It took till 1807 for the very first legislation that came from the UK. And then by the time it became a universal declaration, it was 1948. So it took 150 years for something as simple as anti-slavery legislation to come. And I'm sure neither Najib nor Salam have 150 years to spare. But I also looked at IHRA. An incredible idea like this was only formed in 1998. So it didn't take more than a decade or two to become a household name, especially with us, a protection for us. So what is the difference? The IHRA was also done by one crazy guy, the same as Salam. Somebody who just thought, I went to a concentration camp. He was a Swedish Prime Minister, Göran Persson. And he went to a concentration camp and he came back with an idea. And if we follow how it happened, how this became a name for us to call, and we go to a local authority and we ask, are you part of IHRA? We go to a university, we go to a country. The moment there's 35 countries, they will have representatives, and I can tell you who the representative can be. My dear friend, the American Commissioner, Dr. Schnig, we would be one of those. In each of our countries, there is a freedom of religion. In each one of them is a commissioner. It does not take for us to wait for countries to adopt and for countries to legislate. We can do that in our next meeting. We could, just like Göran did, we have the principles. And I heard many of you, Archbishop and many of you actually put their fingers on the button. We don't want to talk next time about the BPUR. We want action. Just want to mention something that I encountered on the same day. It's not the same story, but I just want to tell you, I live now in the UAE. Why do I live in the UAE? After 5 decades here, I moved to the UAE because I love everything they do. And we all talk about diversity and inclusivity. And I tell you, the first time I went there, I went with a bag full of ideas about peace and peace building. And I went and saw the ruler, and I asked, and he said, you came highly recommended, what can I do for you? And I said, I've got ideas about how to build peace. And he said, okay. So I opened my mouth for a few minutes, and then he looked at me with very sharp eyes. And he said, "But we don't do peace here." And I had presentations and I had books. And I'm like, what do I say next? He said, and then he smiled, like you, sir. And after 15 seconds of me being puzzled, and he said, "We do business here." Because when we have shared interest, when we all here have exactly the same ideas, if you win, I win. If you lose, I lose. And therefore, there's no need to talk about let's build religious peace. Just do it. That's my message today.